Well, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the Abergavenny Town Council to Wales and our town.
Yeah, this is the start of what will be a very exciting weekend, bringing together all the partners in this European project. It's so important that we try and match the agricultural industry with its markets. It's a problem that we've got in this country, and it's also a problem that clearly we now know is right across Europe.
So the project itself has been running for about a year. We're about halfway through that project, and we're looking at sharing best practice on environmental sustainability for food, growing projects, better use of land.
Fundamentally, for us as a county, we're really proud of the agricultural heritage that we have the opportunity to work with. We're not a myopic county, we are quite international in our outlook, so the opportunity to work with others that may have other ideas, almost certainly will have other ideas, but different perspectives is vital to us. So it's absolutely wonderful to host such a gathering here today.
It is significantly important, and not least in times of change that we're facing in the next few years. We learn a lot from partnering and networking with other countries and initiatives such as AGRI-URBAN in other countries. We can give and we can receive information, and we can all benefit from it.
Well, I think international cooperation is essential in Europe. Whether we're in Europe or not with Brexit, European regions have a lot to offer the cities and regions of the United Kingdom, and Wales in particular can benefit from learning. For example, in my own work, Wales has learned a lot from the Basque Country, and that exchange of good practice through international networks is essential to innovation and to urban and regional development. And food lies right at the heart of development, because it's a sector like no other, because unlike steel or cars or software, food is vital to human health and well-being. We all need it, as it were, and therefore places need to respect themselves by respecting the food that they produce and consume.
It's about bringing communities together to make them stronger, to get people to connect.
We wanted to develop, as well as the food growing area and the beekeeping area, we wanted to create a pollinator garden which we could show to people as an example of a garden that has good food resource for pollinating insects, as well as homes for pollinating insects.
We've got 150 pedigree Holstein dairy cows milking your own 2 Lely astronaut robot. The fact that this uses less electric and less water than a conventional parlour per milking, it's definitely meant that we'll be able to carry on milking you in the long term.
So we proposed a community-supported agriculture project, which is where people commit to buying food from us. So it's all organic, seasonal veg, and in return for their commitment they get a weekly box. I think people are really interested. You look at the news at the moment, you know, you look at the bad reports about agribusiness and toxic food. And then you look on the other hand at the growth of interest in real food and the connection of people to where their food comes from. It just shows that people want to know now. They don't want to be sold anonymous food in, you know, plastic wrapping. They want to come and understand where that food's coming from and how it's grown.
We felt something that could offer people an opportunity to kind of get a little bit closer to the food chain, either meeting farmers or producers, was a good idea.
We're not about preaching to people. We're about getting people together, talking about food issues, trying to raise awareness about the importance of connection between eaters and producers.
But we have a producer group, a kind of co-op, where we have over 200 farms, all small farms, all free range, raising traditional breeds. We want to support small farmers, we want to support diversity, we want to support local, we want to support good quality and free range.
The sustainability for our business is about producing quality wine and not just volume. Because I just spent some time in Portugal back in June as part of this project, and the cooperative working is a strong model, which we don't have that model in the UK really, as small groups of producers working together for the greater good of all their businesses and becoming more sustainable to a bigger market. I think we can learn a lot more from them than they could probably learn from us, but it's nice that they can understand what we do here in Wales.
So to me that was really an interesting event, because it's like a very big food festival. We have one in my town, in Montsartou, but it's like way smaller. But I also really like the fact that we could see a lot of smaller shops or smaller companies that obviously are doing like their little business, and they're probably rising on the fact that people are getting more and more interested in the food and the quality of the food. So I think it's really interesting actually. I like the spirit.
Donc au niveau du festival, c'est intéressant pour moi, parce que nous sommes en train de réfléchir au niveau de l'arrondissement de Wiwarem à développer un marché, un symposium autour justement des circuits courts et de l'alimentation locale. Donc tout ce que je peux capter ici je l'espère inspirer notre démarche locale, donc sur l'arrondissement de Wiwarem, voilà, en Belgique.
The festival is, I think that's probably the most amazing festival I ever attended in my life. It's the scenic, with the castle surrounding everything and the shows. You can buy food, you can try food, you can play, you can look at things, you can listen to chefs that knows what they are doing, and this is exactly what we are looking at in the project, connecting everything from the farms to the consumers in the city. So it's have been an amazing conference as a whole.
The atmosphere is great. I mean, it's really crowded. It's a great opportunity to see local products from abroad, healthy diets, interesting recipes. Really nice, brilliant organization.
I defend absolutely the production of the creation of this kind of festival, because they promote the link, the direct contact between producers, farmers and consumers. So it's a perfect place to enjoy food and to discuss and to create culture about the food.
Yes, the connection between the community and the festival, and that it works so well, that it was an idea coming from the community and that it still works for the community after so many years and so many visitors. That's something really important I'm bringing back home with me.
Wow, that gives us a sense of place of where Wales is and how much we value our food concepts and food delivery. It's been lovely to actually be able to coordinate that, to actually showcase some of our lovely projects across Monmouthshire, and in particular the Abergavenny area where our focus is at the moment, obviously. We've looked at some of the key areas, the community supported agriculture, we've looked at how our farming works, etc. Some really good examples of what we have, which is now beautiful countryside in beautiful Monmouthshire. So yeah, we're really pleased to host this, but we're even we're happier, I guess, just that our delegates have a really good time as well.
10 billion people by 2050 that we have to feed, 3 billion overweight and 2 undernourished, 25% of our food is wasted.
Yes, we are in a key moment of the project, because we are now building our integrated action plans, which is an important document that each city has to produce. And it's been an intensive work, the technical work, but all the cities are quite motivated to build this document. And I believe that in the end we will have a very good plan for all the cities, and the outcomes will be seen in the next months.
What I wanted to offer today is something slightly different. My colleagues have talked about food as an industry, and I want to suggest to you that food is more than an industry. Yes, food is traded as a commodity, of course, but it can never be reduced to a commodity. Why? Because there's something special about food. All the URBAN projects are wonderful examples of how places, whether they're rural areas, whether they're cities or towns, they form networks of communities of interest where they can share good practice and pool ideas on how to get ahead together. So it's a marvellous example of Europe using its diversity, in a sense, to help one place to learn from another. And AGRI-URBAN is a fine example of that European model in practice.